Would it not be more polite to knock?
Here we go.
Anushka, stay here.
Out. Out!
What do you want?
I'm looking for your lover's letters.
They're not there!
Oh, yes. I think so. I think so. Ah. Yes. I told you. I ordered you not to receive that man in this house.
I had to see him.
I am not interested as to why a married woman wants to see her lover.
How can you be so cruel?
Cruel? You call it cruelty for me to give you freedom?
Freedom?
Offer you the honorable protection of my name on condition that you obey the proprieties. Is that cruelty?
It's worse. It's cowardly. And it's indecent.
How would you describe your own behavior, eh? Tell me that. Tell me that. Huh?
I have nothing more to say to you.
No, but I have this to say. Since you refuse to obey my wishes, I'm going to end this state of things.
It will come to an end of itself.
Sooner than you think. All you want is to gratify your animal passion?
I want only to be loved.
And you think only of yourself, but what about me? What do you care that my whole life is in ruins? What do you care how much I've suffered? I'm going at once to Moscow. I shall not return to this house. You shall hear from the lawyer with whom I shall arrange a divorce. And my son shall go to my sister's.
Leave, Seryozha.
No!
With me. You're taking him away just to hurt me. You don't love him.
When I look at him, all I can think about is my loathing for you, but I shall take him all the same. Goodbye.
Please, I beg you, leave me, Seryozha. That's all I shall ever ask. Leave him at least until my confinement. He needs me. Please!
Now, won't you sit down, Your Excellency?
So, you know who I am?
Oh, my dear sir, who doesn't? Excuse me, ant eggs, you know.
Beg your pardon?
Ants' eggs, for the fish. They're from the Black Sea. The fish, of course. Always hungry. Now, sir.
Before I begin, I must tell you that my business is strictly private.
Oh, my dear sir.
Very well. I have the misfortune to have been deceived in my marriage. I wish to break off all relations with my wife by legal means.
You wish a divorce?
Yes. And in such a way that my son does not remain with his mother.
Excuse me. And you would like me to arrange this?
If it can be arranged as I wish. If not, I may forego my legitimate desire.
Oh, quite.
Well, I have a general idea on the law on this subject.
You would like me to be specific?
If you would be so good.
Delighted. Now, divorce by our laws is possible in the following circumstances. One, a physical defect in either party. Applicable? No?
No.
Two, desertion without communication for 5 years. No. Well, finally, then, adultery. Are these the grounds that we have in mind? Adultery of the wife, I take leave to presume.
Yes.
Just so. Now then, adultery as grounds for divorce is subdivided into two categories. One, detection of the guilty party by mutual agreement, or two, failing such agreement, involuntary detection. In the first instance, it is customary for the husband, however innocent, to provide evidence for divorce. The most usual, simple and sensible arrangement, in my opinion, is adultery by mutual consent. It is also by far the surest method.
In this case, out of the question.
Really? You wish to insist that your wife is guilty?
She is.
My dear sir.
Involuntary detection. Supported by letters in my possession.
Letters? I beg you not to forget that cases of this sort come under ecclesiastical jurisdiction. The revered fathers like to investigate such cases down to the minutest detail, and they do. Letters was partial confirmation, perhaps, but direct evidence is required. That is, of eyewitnesses. All are called, and few, if sufficiently rewarded, will fail to talk.
Yes, I understand.
And may I perhaps remind you, if you divorce your wife under these conditions, she will never be allowed to remarry. Moreover, she will be totally deprived of her children. But if that is what you desire, you should leave the choice of measures to me. If one wants the result, one shouldn't be shy of the means.
And if these conditions are met, a divorce is possible.
Oh, quite. If you give me a free hand. May I expect to hear from you?
Within the week. I shall write to you.
Good.
Oh, and let me have your terms.
Certainly.
Will there be anything else, Marty?
Thank you, no. Ah, yes, the cigarette box for Princess Tverskoy. You shouldn't encourage me.
So you mean to tell me you've heard nothing for 2 whole months?
Not a word. Nor have I had any letters from the lawyer that I was threatened with.
That's extraordinary. Do you think he's changed his mind?
It would be most unlikely. His sister has written to me twice to tell me that Seryoja is well. Seryoja himself is permitted to write once a week. His letters are dictated, I'm sure, very carefully.
Anna, how can you bear it?
Because I must. And really, Betsy, thinking it all over calmly,
Calmly?
Oh, yes. These days I'm very calm. I've come to realize that my husband has every right on his side.
You can't mean that.
But I do. It was only when I was with him, in the same room, that I used to be confused. His presence, his physical presence, had become so nauseating to me that I could feel nothing but loathing.
That I understand. He's a coward, too.
Yes, but he can't help it.
Are you saying you feel pity for him?
Yes. In a strange way. I have treated him badly.
Would you live with him again, if he did change his mind?
Never.
Then, my dear girl, you have reached an impasse. Shall I tell you what I hear? He's in Moscow, staying at the Hotel Dussault, licking his wounds.
What wounds?
Well, you remember the famous commission, of course. About the native tribes.
Well, yes, I suppose
Your
so.
husband won a brilliant victory in August. The commission was appointed and made its report a week ago. All its findings agreed with his contentions.
Well, then.
Wait. Count Stremov. Oh, you remember Stremov.
Now, wasn't he the man who opposed Alexei when...
Exactly. A clever man. Clever man. Well, suddenly he came right over onto your husband's side. Then he went further. He proposed and pushed through some changes so radical that the whole commission was discredited. Then he quietly retired, and your husband got all the blame. Comical, isn't it?
Do you think so?
Well, I think it's hilarious, like all politics. Mind you, Anna, it's not all over. I'm told your husband still has an ace or two up his sleeve.
Anna! Oh! I'm quite all right.
You're not.
Yes. You've never had children, Betsy. Let me tell you, this is the moment you wait for all those weary months.
What can I do?
Oh, leave me here. Yes, I mean it. And find Anushka, my maid. Ask her to send for the doctor.
Anna, are you sure?
Betsy, please.
Your Excellency.
Yes?
If you'd care to sit in the drawing room.
I shall sit here.
Alexei. Anushka.
What is it, madam?
Oh, poor Anushka. Nothing you can do. No one ever taught you to write. Doctor.
Is the pain bad?
Oh, no, not now.
Well then.
I want someone to send a telegram.
But-
Please.
I'll arrange it.
A telegram to my husband. Alexei Alexandrovich Karenin, Hotel Dussault, Moscow. I'm dying.
That's not true.
Please, write what I say. I think you are a friend of Sludin, my husband's private secretary.
We are acquainted.
But then, nothing I say will surprise you. Right.
Very
Please.
well.
I beg you to come at once. I shall die more easily with your forgiveness. Sign it. Anna.
Vasily! I hardly recognize you. You've let your whiskers grow, haven't you? Karenina, number 7, along here.
Yes.
Thank you. Levin!
Stephen!
Oh!
Hey.
Now, that makes it all perfect.
We'll just leave it in there.
So you're back. Been abroad, haven't you? Where?
Germany, France, England.
How was Paris?
Well, I didn't go to Paris. I've been studying agricultural methods. I learned a great deal.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm delighted to see you looking so well. And in such good spirits. You know, somebody told me that you were down in the mouth and kept talking of nothing but death.
Well, what of it? I think continually of death.
Oh, do you now?
I tell you frankly, Steve, I value my work and my ideas, but they're only a vanity. This whole world is nothing but a grain of mildew.
Oh?
And our lives, a moment of eternity. So, we might as well pass our lives amusing ourselves as best we can.
Well, my own idea entirely.
Because we shall soon be dead.
Why soon? You know, if you weren't so funny.
Funny?
You'd be in danger of becoming a bore.
Steve.
No, I was only joking. Now, look, my dear fellow, if you could bear to enjoy yourself for an hour or two, do come to dinner. Your brother Koznichev might be there, and Karenin, I hope, and a few others. Will you come?
Yes, I'd like to.
Good. Come when you're ready, and don't be late. Mr. Blonsky to see Alexei Karenin.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clemens in note this morning.
Dear young man, don't be nice. But, sir, I know he's in. They told me downstairs. Anyway, he's expecting me.
Well, come in, please.
Tut, you'll come to a bad end. Oh, I see you're not dressed for dinner. Never mind, shall we go?
I'm sorry I can't come.
Why? We're expecting you.
I cannot visit your house.
Why on earth not?
Because all relationships between us must end. Finish from now on.
But why?
Because I'm starting divorce proceedings. I'm going to divorce your sister.
That's not possible.
Now, I'm afraid it is. I've thought about it for 2 months, and finally Well, this letter contains firm instructions to my lawyer.
I don't believe it.
In it are enclosed written proofs of her guilt, letters from her lover.
Oh, good God. Well, if that's the case... My dear fellow, you sure there's been no misunderstanding?
I only wish there were.
Karenin, you're a man of principle, first rate. And Anna, well, forgive me, but Anna, I beg you do nothing in haste.
I'm not acting in haste, far from it. But my mind is made up.
Well, do one thing. See my wife. See Dolly.
But I
She
don't
loves Anna
see-
like a sister. She's a wonderful woman. For God's sake, talk it over with Dolly.
Well, I really don't know. That's why I didn't call at your house. I supposed our relationship should be changed.
I don't see that. We're friends, aren't we? Even if... Well, I wouldn't presume to take sides. Who am I to judge? But come and see Dolly. Will you?
If you wish it so much, yes, I shall come.
Oh, hello, Matvey. I'm late, as usual.
As usual, sir.
Is everyone here?
Of course, sir. Let me take your coat, sir. If I may say so, sir, I'm very relieved to see you.
Relieved?
Well, sir, when gentlemen go travelling abroad, mixing with foreigners...
You mean anything might happen?
Exactly, sir.
Well, put your mind at rest. Nothing did.
Now, come along, everybody. If we wait any longer, we'll all die of thirst.
With pleasure.
Take my wife.
So he's arrived? Yes. Ah, good. Alicia, my dear, allow me to be your escort. You see how it is? Even at my age, I capture all the pretty ones.
If there's one thing that bowls me over, it's flattery. I don't care who flatters me. I love it.
Konstantin Dmitrievich.
I haven't seen you
I was
since...
driving to Yergashova.
You put your head out of the window.
We nearly bumped noses. It was rather a shock to see you that evening. What were you doing alone on the road?
I'd been harvesting. It was a glorious day. The peasants were singing as they went home.
Oh, I haven't heard them sing for ages.
Then you must again. Soon. The thing was, they were so happy, so natural. I was sorry I couldn't be a part of it.
How could you be?
I know. But I was feeling as though I belonged nowhere, and suddenly...
I popped up. Out of nowhere.
Kitty. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you for waiting. I do so want to speak to you, and we couldn't talk in the drawing room.
I have to leave in any case, but I wanted to bid you good night with my thanks for a pleasant evening.
Oh, wait. Forgive me, I have no right, but I love Anna. She's been such a good friend to me. I beg you to tell me what's wrong. What do you accuse her of?
But surely Steve has told you.
I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
But one can't deny facts.
What facts? What has she done?
But you insist on details?
No.
Well, nevertheless, I shall satisfy you. My wife admits her infidelity. Indeed, she boasts of it.
Oh, that's not possible.
I would give a great deal to have any doubts. While I was in doubt, it was hard, but not as hard as it is now. When I doubted, I could hope. But now there's no hope. And still I doubt everything. I'm in such doubt that often I can't bear to look at my son. Sometimes I don't believe that he is my son. Now, can you imagine what that means?
Yes. Yes, I believe I can. So you mean to divorce her?
There's nothing else to do.
Oh, there must be anything, only not divorce.
But you must understand that this trouble isn't like others, like illness or somebody's death. One can't just bear one's cross. It's necessary to act.
I see that, and I do sympathise, but divorce? We should be nobody's wife. She'd be lost.
At her own choice.
Oh, how could any woman choose that? But even so, you're a Christian man. Can you not forgive?
I've tried. But I can't. I don't think I'm spiteful. Until now, I've never hated anyone. But I hate her. I hate her with all my soul for what she's done.
Still, you could be merciful. Love them that hate you.
That is just possible. One can't love those whom one hates. I'm sorry, I didn't want to upset you. But you must realize that it's all over. Good night.
Oh.
More! Uncle!
Chopin, perhaps?
Very well.
Happy, Kostya?
Yes, yes, a wonderful evening.
So it's not yet time for us all to die?
There's something I've wanted to ask you for a long time. You said it could not be.
I know what it is. That means never. But it's not true. I should be so happy if...
Forget and forgive.
I understand.
Playing secretary? Oh, please don't concern yourselves. Dolly won't mind and the servants won't understand.
Papa.
But if we're not going to be late for the theatre, we should be getting ready to leave.
You opened both telegrams?
Was that wrong, sir? I thought if anything urgent.
Oh, it's quite right, quite
They're
right.
on the table.
Stremoff appointed Chief
Yes,
Commissioner. Well, you see what this means.
They must be mad, sir, to appoint him
Those
as the...
whom the gods wish to destroy. Never mind about me, that's of no consequence, but really to appoint Stremoff, a man totally unfitted for... Well, they'll live to regret it. Won't alter my plans.
Perhaps, sir... Perhaps you should read the other telegram.
Oh? This is a trick. Isn't it? It's a trick.
I must say, sir.
I suppose it's true. And she is dying. Maybe so. And if she is repentant? Am I in time for the train to Petersburg?
You have more than an hour.
Very well.
Sir,
Yes.
have you thought?
What is it?
If it is the confinement and you should be in the house...
No, I'm not asked
I'm
to, for
sorry,
your
sir,
pers-
I must speak. Wouldn't your presence legitimize the child? Wouldn't it prevent the divorce?
You're a good fellow, Slutin, but my duty is plain. This is a moral decision. Besides, if that should prove not to be false and I should not go, then I should be condemned. Rightly condemned before the world.
Alexei. Alexei.
Oh, Petrov.
Your Excellency.
Is there any news? How's your mistress?
Safely delivered yesterday of a healthy girl.
I see. Is my wife well?
I'm sorry to say not. They tell me she is very ill indeed.
Who's with her?
The doctor and the midwife, Your Excellency, and Count Vronsky.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir, but are you...
I'm Karenin.
Well, thank God for that. Thank God you've come. She keeps on about you, so she keeps on. One moment, just a moment.
She is dying. The doctors say there's no hope at all. Will you let me? I am entirely in your hands. I must do whatever you wish. Will you please let me stay here?
Because you see, when Alexei, I mean, of course, Alexei Alexandrovich, not Alexei. How strange it is they should both be called him. Yes, it is strange, but somehow it's quite proper and natural. I've always thought that. But he will come to me. I know he'll come. He wouldn't reject me. Not when I beg him to forgive. You see, he's a good man. You don't know how good he is.
It's fever, Your Excellency. She's delirious.
Theriota had his dinner? I know they'll forget him. Oh, yes. He must be moved into the corner room. No! No, Walter! I want my baby! But you said I... Yes. Yes, I know, but... Very well. Let the nurse have her. In fact, it's better, yes. Alexei's coming soon. May hurt him to see her.
He has come. He's here. Anna Karenina, look. He's here.
Alexei, I knew you wouldn't fail me. There's very little time left. That's why I'm in such a hurry. Because there's no time. I couldn't bear to die without you. Thank you. I wanted to tell you something. What was it? Oh, yes. I wanted to say I am still the woman you married, but there's another woman in me. I'm afraid of her. It was she who treated you so badly. She thought she hated you. It was she. But I'm not that woman. Not anymore. I'm my real self. And all I want is to be forgiven. Forgiven completely. You see, Alexei, it's easy to forgive good people, but to forgive wickedness is much more difficult. Oh, I am sinful. I know, but... Nurse used to tell me. The Holy Martyr, what was her name? She was worse. But she was saved. And I'll go to Rome. There's a wilderness there, and I shan't be in anybody's way. But I'll take Seriota and the little one. But you'd never allow me to do that, would you? Would you?
Anything. Anything you wish.
You see, I told you. Told you. But why doesn't he come? Alexei! Alexei Kirillitch! Alexei. Come in. Oh. Give him your hand. No. Look at him. I want you to look at him. He's a saint. Take your hands away. Alexei, uncover his face. I want you to see him. So you must forgive each other. Ooh. Dream come true. Now everything's done. I'm ready. Just stretch legs a little. Oh, it's good. Horrible curtains. Badly. Flowers drawn. No, not like violets. I'm falling. I'm falling. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Your Excellency.
Doctors have just told me.
Yes?
The fever has gone down. Her temperature is nearly normal. They think, well, they're certain that she's out of danger. I've seen her myself. She's quiet, sleeping peacefully.
It's a miracle.
Yes. I agree with you. The doctors themselves...
Are you sure? They couldn't be mistaken.
I think not. She's going to get well.
I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I can't quite believe it. No. In that room 3 days ago when Anna was dying, she persuaded us to shake hands. You were moved to forgive her and me. Will you shake hands now?
Willingly.
Thank you. I had better go.
No, wait, please. I have something I wish to say to you. Pray be good enough to listen.
Certainly, what is it?
I must explain to you my feelings. No, it's better not to use emotional words even when speaking of emotions. I desire you to make no mistake about me. I must explain to you my motives, the motives that have guided me in the past and those that guide me now.
Do you consider it necessary?
I'm sorry, I do. Please. You know that I had already decided on a divorce.
I knew it was in your mind, yes.
Proceedings had already begun. I was not prepared, for many reasons, to submit myself to the deceit and subterfuges of a divorce by arrangement. As an innocent man, I couldn't proclaim myself guilty in the eyes of the world.
Nobody in the world would believe that you were.
In that case, I should have proclaimed myself a liar.
I see.
But that was only a part of it. I confess that I wanted to be revenged, both on you and on her. That she should be degraded, banned from remarriage, prevented from ever again seeing her son. I felt that nothing less would satisfy me. In Moscow, when a telegram came, I wouldn't believe in her repentance. She said she was dying. I hoped that she was.
But you hoped for that?
God forgive me, yes! On my journey here, I hoped to find her dead. Your aversion is very natural.
No, you are quite wrong. I was only surprised to find in you such a... Excuse me, such a depth of feeling.
Surprised? Oh, yes, I suppose so.
But to wish someone dead... No, I don't find it strange. Though for myself, I've never had to meet that situation. I am a soldier, as you know, and soldiers are trained to face death. They are also trained to contemplate the death of their enemies, or rather, the enemies of their country. And for a soldier, they're one and the same. Has that ever occurred to you?
No, I don't think so.
You see, a soldier has to imagine not only his own death, but the necessity to kill. This is more difficult, but a good soldier learns quickly. You must have thought of Anna as your enemy, as I was. So you wished her to die. It's not so strange. Now, what astonished me was that you were prepared to forgive.
But that's what I wanted you to know. I forgave her. And I forgive you. Because only in forgiveness can I find salvation. No, it's more than that. It's happiness. Joy. Oh, I pray to God not to deprive me of this joy of forgiving.
You are making me ashamed.
Oh, you must find your own salvation.
I know that.
My duty is plain. Oh, you can do what you like. Drag my name through the mud, make me the laughingstock of the world, but I shall not forsake her. And I shall never reproach you. I'm bound to stay with her now, and I will. And when she wants to see you, I'll send word. You see, the most wonderful thing is that in spite of my wishing, she's going to live.
Drive on. Anywhere. Drive anywhere.
I want you to look at him. He's a saint.
Oh, you can do what you like. Make me the laughingstock of the world.
Hands away. Look at him. I want you to look at him.
And I shall never reproach you.
You were my husband, too. And I was explaining. Suddenly it all changed. Alexei. Alexei! He's a saint.
I confess that I wanted to be revenged.
He's a saint.
I forgave her.
I'm falling.
And I forgive you.
I'm falling. Oh, God. Oh, God.
And I forgive you.
Look at him.
But I shall not forsake her.
I want you to look at
And
him.
you must find your own salvation.
The necessity to kill. A soldier imagines his own death. His own. He's trained to face death.
What happened?
Herman, where the devil is...
Thank God. Thank God you're alive.
Herman, pick that up. Give it here.
No, sir. But I won't.
Are you in pain?
It's a little here.
Then keep still. I'll change the dressing shortly.
Can't you wait for the doctor?
No.
What a splendid girl you are.
Nonsense. Are you thirsty?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Well, this is barley water. It's supposed to be good for you. No. No, don't move.
Thank you. Betsy doesn't think it was an accident. Do you?
Alexei, you were delirious for 4 days.
Did I talk a lot?
All the time.
Who heard me?
Only the doctor, who will say nothing.
No. And you?
was here. But whatever I heard is already forgotten.
You needn't dissemble. Not with me. You know all about it, don't you?
Oh, a great deal.
Don't you understand? I can talk to you as I can't talk to anyone else in the world.
Not to Anna?
To Anna? No.
But Alexei.
I tried to kill myself. Because suddenly I felt guilty. I was shamed and humiliated. All my life I have done what I wanted. I was superior, above criticism. I followed certain rules and conventions without thought. For example, the accepted view of the deceived husband, the cuckold.
I'm not sure that I wish to hear any more of
Pitiful
this.
object. An incidental, a ludicrous obstacle to my happiness.
Alexei, you must not excite yourself.
I'm not excited. But on that night, Anna presented her husband to me in a very different light, as indeed he did himself. All at once we had exchanged roles. We were both sorrowing because Anna might die. And though he knew and felt very deeply all the injuries we had inflicted on him, he was generous, kind, dignified. He wasn't vindictive or revengeful. And above all, not ludicrous. In that scene, I was the comic, unnecessary clown.
And for that? Because you felt humiliated?
No. It was not only because of that. No, it was enough. No. I was wretched because Anna was lost to me forever. During her illness, I learned to know her through and through. I saw her very soul. It seemed to me that until then I'd never truly loved her. And on that night, I knew she was lost to me forever. Do you wonder that I wanted to die?
Nurse says it's time for the baby's feed. Shall I take her, madam?
Yes, Anna. Ooh.
A dear little love, isn't she, sir?
Child.
What about her?
Well, she's very small.
Are you surprised? She hasn't been 3 weeks in the world.
No, I suppose not.
What were you going to tell me? Oh, so it's something important.
To you, yes. And distressing. 10 days ago, I've been asked to inform you that Count Vronsky suffered an accident 10 days ago.
An accident? What happened?
I've been told that he's recovering and is now convalescent.
Thank God. Are you sure?
Yes.
What sort of an accident? What happened?
Some mishap with a revolver. It was fired off by chance while he was cleaning it.
That is a lie. You know it's a lie. Count Vronsky does not clean revolvers. What happened?
That's all I can say.
Who told you?
Countess Valia Fedorovna.
Varia is not a liar. I don't believe a word of this. 10 days ago, the day I first began to live again. What are you hiding from me? Did you... You and... Not a duel.
A duel? That was never possible. Never. On that day, least of all. And I told you all about it.
Yes, I believed you, but now...
He went away and I've not seen him since. Now, on my solemn oath, that is the truth.
If it is, where's the rest of it? Tell me. I shall know what happened to him. I demand to be told. I have a right to be told.
Did you know the doctor?
I will have the truth.
Very well.
Did he shoot himself?
I think so.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, God. Why?
I have no idea.
Haven't you?
None at all.
No. No, how could you understand? But thank you.
And,
Will you please go away?
Prince Bohovskoy to see you, sir.
Come along in.
Dear fellow, good to see you up and about. Perfectly fit again?
A little discomfort, but it's nothing.
Well, you always keep yourself in good trim. That's half the battle.
A drink, then, what will you have?
Nothing strong, too early. A glass of wine, perhaps.
Sit down, then.
Thank you.
And cigarettes at your elbow.
Ah, splendid. Well, after we spoke together last week, I went to work. And as I told you in my letter, I hope to have something definite to tell you today.
And you have?
Yes, my dear boy, I have.
Where do I go?
Tashkent.
Tashkent?
Never occurred to me that Tashkent was a particularly comical place to be posted to. Rather the reverse, in fact.
It's difficult.
Well, it can have its moments. The Uzbeks are not exactly civilized.
And the Afghans on the border.
Precisely. So why do you laugh?
Oh, it was only Tashkent, Murmansk, Astrakhan. It's just a joke I remembered.
Ah.
I'm sorry, what's the posting?
Cavalry commander at the garrison.
What?
With the rank of colonel.
Oh, that's first rate.
I knew you'd think so. Old Sapelnikov commands at Tashkent. You'll like him, but he won't stray out much. You'll have all the action you want.
I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Rubbish.
It's just the sort of place I'd hoped for.
2,000 miles from Petersburg, eh?
You see too much, and you assume more than you see.
Enough said. Let's be practical. I've spoken to your colonel about your release from the regiment. That's agreed. I've also had a few discreet and confidential words up there. That's agreed. They forgive and forget.
Forgive what?
My dear fellow, your refusal of Warsaw.
Oh, yes, of course.
You'd forgotten it. They hadn't, I assure you. So, here's to the future.
The future.
And let me tell you, Vronsky, for you, this is only the beginning.
Steva, he's here in Petersburg.
I'm coming to see you today. He asked me to tell you.
Oh, that is good. I've longed to see Steva.
And I have another message for you.
Oh?
You must have known that he'd send one.
What is it?
When a man is being posted all those thousands of miles away, he naturally likes to make a round of farewell visits.
What did he say?
For Alexei, a great deal.
Let's see. What did he say?
The exact words.
Why are you so cruel?
Ah, my darling, I don't mean to be. But sieving it all down, he wants to see you.
No.
He said, among many other things, but this I do remember, he said, To see her once more, just once more, and then bury myself and die. That's what he said. Now, don't you think?
No.
You refuse to see him?
I must not, and I shall not.
But Anna, dear, if he weren't going away, perhaps forever,
No.
I could understand, but surely your husband is above all that.
It's not for his sake.
You mean he would agree?
Yes, I'm sure he would. I know he would.
Well, then, can't you all be civilized? After all, you surely want to say goodbye to a man who shot himself on your account?
That is exactly why I can't.
Oh, there you are. I'd hoped to see you at the palace, but you were so busily engaged I came on here. Anna is looking so much better, don't you think?
Yes. A trifle feverish.
My fault entirely. We've been talking too much. Selfish of me. I'll go now.
No, wait a moment. I want to tell you something. I can't have any secrets from you, nor do I wish to.
Anna, dear, forgive me, but I really must go now.
Wait, I want you to hear. Betsy says that Count Vronsky is leaving for Tashkent. And he wants to come and say goodbye. And I have told her that I cannot receive him.
And I have told Anna, perhaps you heard, that I think it's ridiculous.
Betsy, please. I can't see him. It's out of the question. I don't want to see him. You see? It's impossible.
I don't see anything. I'm submerged, utterly out of my depth. Well, goodbye, precious. Look after yourself.
That woman. I am grateful to you for your decision. Well, I agree that since he's going away, there's no reason whatever for Count Vronsky to come here.
I have said so. Why repeat it?
Well, the question is, of course, yours to decide.
I have decided it.
Yes. And I'm glad
that my wish coincides with yours. Good. Now, may we close the subject?
Certainly.
What am I to do?
Oh, my dear. No.
I was unhappy before. I used to think one couldn't be more unhappy, but now I... You see, I'm caught. I'm in a dreadful kind of trap. People say that women love men even for their vices.
Some do, certainly.
Well, I hate one man because of his virtues. Isn't that horrible? But it's true. I can't live with him, can you understand? The very sight of him affects me physically. He touches my hand, I feel ill. His voice grates on my nerves so that I could scream. The way he moves, talks, every tiny mannerism. It's awful, Steva. Yet here is a good, kind, patient, clever man. I'm not worth his little finger, but I hate him. Above all, I hate him for his generosity. So you see, Steva, I should have died a month ago because I'm not fit to live.
Oh, Anna, you're exaggerating everything. Nothing so very terrible.
It is. I'm lost. Lost. It's worse because I'm not quite lost. I can't say it's ended yet, but it will. When it comes, the end will be dreadful. I feel as though I'm flying headlong over a precipice. I can't stop myself. I ought not to try. I've thought, and there is only one way out.
No, you're wrong. Now sit down. Try to be calm and listen to me. You're not thinking clearly, so you can't see your position as well as I do. Now listen. You married him without love, without knowing what love can be. That was a mistake, let's admit it.
A fearful mistake.
But a fact that has to be faced. Then what happens? You fall in love with another man, yes? A misfortune, but also an accomplished fact. We'll face that too. And then finally, your husband accepts the situation and forgives you. Now you say it's impossible for you to live with him.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You said yourself you couldn't endure him.
No, I take it back.
But you can't, because that too is a fact. Do you think he doesn't know it? Of course he does. So he's wretched. And what good can come of that?
None. But there's no hope anywhere. There's nothing to be done.
Oh, you're wrong. There's one thing, a divorce.
No, no.
Oh, yes, you said yourself that he's kind and generous, and it's true. But now the only kindness anybody can do is to separate you legally and forever. Not only for your sake, but for his.
Oh, Steve,
Shall I talk to him?
Would you? Do you really think...
If only God helps me to speak as I feel. I'll go to him now. May I come in? Oh, am I disturbing you?
No, no. You've seen your sister?
Yes, we had a long talk, and I think a useful one.
Yes. That is something that I have not enjoyed for some time. Smoke, if you will.
Yes, thank you. The position of you both is so different now. Do you object if I talk about it?
No, no, it's a subject that is seldom from my mind. So let us begin with this. I have written her this letter.
Surely you don't want me to read
No, I shall read it. I can see that my presence is disagreeable to you. And though this is painful to me, I'm convinced that it cannot be otherwise. God is my witness that when you were so ill, I resolved with my whole heart to forget all that came between us and begin life anew. My only desire then as now was for your welfare, the welfare of your soul. And now I see I have not attained that. Tell me yourself what would give you true happiness and peace of mind. I put myself in your hands and trust to your feeling of what is right. Well, that is what I wanted to say to her. I must know what she wants.
Yes, I understand. Look here, you know, it won't do.
Why not?
Because already she's crushed. Literally crushed by your generosity. If she reads that, she'll be incapable of telling you anything.
You think so?
I know it.
But then, what is to be done? I mean, in God's name, what more can I do?
Only this, I think. You must tell her how you propose to end the situation.
End it, but how?
Well, there's a way out of every situation. Anna would never admit it, but there is one way out. And that is to terminate your relations finally and completely.
Divorce?
Well, I imagine so. Yes, divorce.
You know my feelings.
Yet at one time you would have resolved on it.
But that was a different matter.
There is only one point to be considered. Whether either party wishes to marry again. If not, it's very simple.
Simple. Yeah. I've thought endlessly about this. To begin with, there's my son. He can't stay with his mother.
Well, why not?
Well, because she'll have another family. Illegitimate, but a family. Then what would Seriosha's position be? Apart from that, a divorce would mean giving my wife over to destruction.
But why?
Well, because these liaisons never last. In 2 or 3 years, Vronsky will throw her over, or she herself will enter into a new liaison. Oh, this can be so when there are no true ties of religion and law. And my consenting to a divorce, I would be the cause of her ruin.
Aren't you forgetting one supremely important fact?
What?
That they love each other.
So if any man take thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. Very well. I agree to a divorce. And I shall take the disgrace on my own head. As for my son, Anna herself must decide about that. Herman? Herman! Quickly, my coat now in a carriage.
Alexei! Oh, Alexei! No, you must listen. You must listen. Oh, Alexei, my beloved, how I've waited for you. Oh, my dearest, dearest love.
As long as we live. As long as we both live, Anna.
As long as we both live.
Look at you. So pretty. Just like a funny little boy. How pale you are.
Am I? Well, I've been ill.
Yes, but you'll soon get better. We will go to Italy. Have you ever been there?
No. Should we really go to Italy?
To Florence, to Naples, to Rome, to Venice. It's warm there and you'll glow in the sunshine and get better.
And you won't go to Tashkent?
No, I will not. And if anyone so much as raises an eyebrow, I'll resign from the army. I know this is the only thing now. It's the only true thing for us.
All well?
Perfect. Little Annie has really taken to the new wetness.
Good.
The baby is full, up to here, and fast asleep.
That is very good. You were lucky to get a woman who could travel with us.
Yes, poor Sasha, if her own baby hadn't died. But she's quite in love with Annie, and as for Anushka, she's completely besotted.
And you?
I have no words to say what I feel. Alexei, there is something I ought to explain. You haven't asked me, you wouldn't be, you.
Surely there's no need.
I must have. And then I'll never mention it again. When my husband agreed to give me the divorce, when he told Steve I could decide for myself about Seryoja, all I could feel at first was joy at the thought. To be free of him. To have my son, to have you. That's all I have ever wanted.
Yet finally you refused the divorce and left Seryoja with him. Is that what you wanted to explain?
Yes.
My love, I know why you refused. You said to yourself, I have wronged my husband. And I've hurt him enough.
Yes, that was it. I didn't want to profit from his misery. But more than that, I deserved punishment. I felt I ought to be punished. By losing my reputation, my son.
So, you decided to make yourself miserable.
Yes.
And are you?
No. No. That's the whole point. I'm not. I don't care two straws for my reputation. I feel no shame, no disgrace being with you. As for Seryoja, well, I think I knew months ago that one day I would have to choose between you and him. And I've chosen. And all I can say is that I'm happy. I'm wildly, I'm unpardonably happy.
Where is it to go, sir?
Hasn't your master told you?
No, sir. He just said take it down.
Then put it in the cellar, wrapped in a sheet.
Very well, sir.
Letters?
A few personal ones in the small folder.
Thank you. Countess Lydia Ivanovna. She writes to me every day asking me to do something or the other, preside at a meeting.
Should you not, then?
I have enough to do.
She has a great deal of influence.
You imagine I don't know that?
Then excuse me, but she could be very useful. She's an excellent organizer.
Yes, I'll consider it. Moscow. Prince and Princess Chabatsky invite you to the marriage of their daughter with a man called Konstantin Dmitrievich Levin. Oh, yes, I remember meeting him. Why they should ask me.
Shall you go?
Go? Go? I don't believe so. What on earth should I be doing at a wedding?
Ah, Stephen. Well, I leave you two to your billiards.
Oh, a glass of champagne first, sir.
Thank you. No, I'm for the card room, where I shall win or lose my customary 10 rubles.
Good luck, sir. And thank you for an excellent dinner.
Waiter.
Stephen, has it ever occurred to you how lucky you are to have such a father-in-law?
Yes. And now you're going to have a share in him. Yes, there's something ironic about the prince. Thank you, Stefan. I suppose if you're surrounded by women all your life, domestic women, I mean.
You believe a man develops irony as a sort of extra skin?
You're coming on, Kostya. You're coming on. Well, here's to Kitty.
To Kitty?
And your marriage.
Yes, marriage.
You nervous now? Afraid of it?
No. No, it's not marriage I'm afraid of.
No?
It's the fuss, the ceremony. Standing up in church in front of all the people.
Well, does Kitty object to that?
Oh, it's the one thing we argue about. She's looking forward to it.
Naturally. It's their great day. So you must pretend that you do too.
Impossible.
If you don't, you'll spoil it for her. Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to mention this, knowing your views. You've got the certificate to show you've been to confession and taken the sacrament.
No. Why?
They won't marry you without it.
What?
Oh.
I never even thought it must be 7 years.
No certificate, no marriage.
Stephen!
It's true. You must confess and take the sacrament.
How can I? It's only 4 days.
Well, that'll do. See the priest. He's a good, sensible man. He'll pull the tooth out for you before you know where you are. Now, come along. I'll pay you 100 up, give you 15 to start.
Christ stands invisible before you to receive your confession. Do you believe in the doctrines of the Holy Apostolic Church?
I have doubted. I doubt everything.
To doubt is a natural human weakness, but we must pray to our merciful Lord to strengthen us. What are your principal sins?
I doubt everything. That is my principal sin.
What do you doubt in particular?
Everything. Sometimes I even doubt the existence of God.
What doubt can you have of the Creator when you contemplate his works? Who adorned the celestial vault with stars, who decked the earth with her beauty? How could those things be without a Creator?
I don't know.
You are about to enter into holy matrimony, and God may bless you with children. What will you say to your child when he asks you, Papa, who made the lovely things in the world? The earth, the water, the sun, the flowers, the grass. Will you really say that you don't know? And if he should ask you about the life to come, what will you tell him? Will you abandon him to the allurements of the world and the devil? Wouldn't that be wrong? So therefore, pray hard. Pray that your doubts may be resolved. Our Lord God Jesus Christ, in the grace and bounty of his loving kindness, pardon this his child. Go in peace and sin no more.
So you see, Countess, it seems that my private affairs are public property.
In society.
Exactly.
They cannot guess at the truth, how it was not you who performed that high act of forgiveness at which I was filled with rapture, but he who dwells within your heart.
No doubt, no doubt. But I've been quite enough humiliated.
Don't say that.
But I do say it because it's true. I mean, do they think I'm blind? Do they think I'm not aware of the jokes, the laughter behind my back? The very servants.
They know not what they do.
Only yesterday, I had to go out of the room. I couldn't bear the way my son looked at me. Oh, he asked me nothing, but he wanted to, and there was a look in his eyes. That's for me to deal with as I can. My more immediate problems are of a practical nature. For several hours today, I've had to arrange this, settle that. Oh, household matters arising from my new solitary state. Domestic affairs, the engagement of staff, the payment of petty accounts, laundry, fish. I tell you, Countess, there are limits to a man's endurance, and I have reached mine.
I understand, my dear friend. I understand it all. Succor and consolation you will find, not in me, though I have come expressly to help you. If I could take all these petty cares from your shoulders.
If you could do that.
I see a woman's word, a woman's guiding hand is needed. Will you entrust everything to me? You will. I am rewarded. But, my dear friend, think no more of laughter and humiliation, for he that humbleth himself shall be exalted, and you mustn't thank me.
I do.
No, you must thank him and ask his help. In him alone we shall find peace, comfort, salvation, love.
I'm indeed grateful to you for your deeds and your words.
The deeds are yet to do. And I must set to work as your housekeeper. But first, I'm going to see Seriosha.
What's wrong? Didn't you want him to marry?
Praise God, I've lived to see the day.
Well then.
Hast thou, Constantine, a good, free, and unconstrained will and a firm intention to take unto thyself to wife this woman, Ekaterina, whom thou seest here before thee?
I have, Reverend Father.
Thou hast not promised thyself to any other bride?
I have not promised myself, Reverend Father.
Hast thou, Ekaterina, a good, free, and unconstrained will and a firm intention to take to thyself to husband this man, Constantine, whom thou seest here before thee?
I have, Reverend Father.
Thou hast not promised thyself to any other husband?
I have not promised myself, Reverend Father.
Give the blessing, Master.
Blessed is the kingdom of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, now and ever, and unto ages of ages.
Amen.
been so happy here, Alexei, so happy. If this were the end of it all, I know it won't be, but if it were, I should be content. These few weeks, they've meant more to me than the rest of my life. And if it does end, and I go on living, to become an old woman, a tedious, ugly old woman, I should still be happy, proud, because once you loved me.
At least he wasn't so brazen as to write to you.
I don't think I have the right to refuse her.
My dear friend, you never see evil in anyone.
On the contrary. But would it be Christian to deny her?
No, no, there are limits to everything. Immorality one can understand, but cruelty is another matter. Above all, cruelty to you.
Who shall cast the first stone? She loves her son. Can I refuse her the right to see him?
But is it love? Is it sincere? And if it were, have we the right to work on the feelings of that little angel? He thinks she is dead. What will he think if he sees her?
I hadn't thought of that.
Madame, to remind your son of you might lead to questions on his part. Questions that could not be answered without implanting in the child's soul a spirit of condemnation towards what should be sacred to him. In the circumstances, I beg you to interpret your husband's refusal in the spirit of Christian love. I pray to Almighty God to have mercy upon you.
Oh, that woman. If only I'd written directly to him. But that she, a hypocrite, a lying hypocrite, the devil for her talk of Almighty God. She doesn't care for Serioja, not two straws. And I am not to see him because she says so. Well, we shall see about that. Herr Castle, good morning.
My God.
Is Serioja still in his old room?
Yes, but...
Serioja. Wake up, Serioja. Serioja. Darling, wake up. Wake up.
I knew it wasn't true. I knew you'd be here.
Did you? Did you, darling?
Of course, it's my birthday. You're always here on my birthday. I'll get up now. What are you crying for?
I'm not. Not really. It's just that it's such a long time since I've seen you, and you've grown. Just a few short months.
But I should think you might have known better. You know the situation. Everybody in the household knows the situation.
Who pays your wages? Eh? Anna Akadyevna? Or is it Alexei Alexandrovich? You should not have let her in. Like the rest of us, you know quite well the master goes into the boys' bedroom every morning at 8:30 precisely. Wouldn't surprise me to see you dismissed.
So, what if I am? 10 years' service and nothing but kindness from her? You've had the same, so there's no need to put that face on. Some people know which side their bread is buttered. But as for me, if I go, I go.
And if he goes, I go too.
But of course, Mamma, I knew you'd be here, so I've worked it all out. When we've had coffee, we'll go for a ride together in the park. And then...
No, my darling, you mustn't think of it.
Why not?
Because I shan't be able to stay. I only came just for a moment because I wanted to...
Now you're here, you must stay.
Oh, Seryoja.
Keep shooting the filmers. But it is 8:30.
What of it?
At this precise hour, Alexei Alexandrovich, I thought I should tell you. Sorry.
I shall have to go.
No, Mamma, no, don't go. He won't come just yet.
Are you afraid of him?
Sometimes.
Well, you mustn't be. He loves you.
No.
Oh, yes. And you must love him. He's better than I am, and he's kinder.
No.
Yes, and I have been wicked to him. When you're grown up, you'll understand.
No one is better than you.
Oh, my darling, it's good that you should think so, but it... Goodbye, my son.
Let me go. Let me go.
Prosperity, yes, but only on the surface. To be assessed only by rising prices on the stock exchange. While the makers... No. The creators of the country's wealth. Well,
Well, what?
you were looking at me.
How did you know?
I always know.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. What were you thinking?
Never mind. Go back to your writing. Don't let me distract you.
But you do.
And you see? I've all these little holes to cut out.
It's astonishing. Respectable people mend holes and you make them on purpose.
Oh, Kostya, you know
No,
perfectly well.
Look, there's just a little curl. What were you thinking?
Well, if you must know,
Yes, I must.
I was thinking
Hmm?
about the back of your neck and willing you to turn round, and you did.
Of all the adorable creatures. What have I done? What have I done to deserve such happiness? It's not natural.
Oh, yes, it is. More tea, Alexei?
Thank you, no. Well, Mama, I must leave now. If there's anything I can do, I shall be in Petersburg for a while.
Thank you, no. Varia looks after me very well.
That is her métier, looking after people. If it weren't for her, I shouldn't be alive today.
And if it were not
Yes,
for...
Mama?
Nothing, nothing. Nobody wants my opinion. Who listens to an old woman?
What do you wish to tell me?
Tell you. Since when have I been able to tell you anything? And you don't need my advice. You wouldn't take it before, so why should you now?
I should like to hear it, though.
Very well. You're going to the country.
Quite soon.
Then make it quite soon. For you to be seen strolling about Petersburg out of uniform, no longer an officer in the imperial service, to be denied the court, to be observed walking openly in the streets.
Please, enough.
Am I now to apologize?
By no means your advice is excellent, and I shall take it.
Very well. I shall be in my room, Varia. Alyosha.
Au revoir.
Alexei. Alexei, you know how fond I am of you.
I believe so.
But I cannot do what you want.
No.
You mustn't think that I criticize Anna or venture to judge in any way. Perhaps in her place I'd have done the same. I can't tell. But as things are...
As things are? Haven't we got beyond these ancient conventions? Haven't we progressed at all?
Not in society.
Oh, but I don't expect it to be received at court, and she wouldn't wish it. But surely, our intimate friends. Understand this, Faria. If a divorce can be arranged, Anna and I shall be married. Until then, I consider her as my wife, and I expect those who say they are fond of me to do so as well.
No, Alexei. We must recognize facts. You want me to go and see Anna, to invite her here, to rehabilitate her in society. It can't be done. For your brother's sake, and for the sake of our daughters growing up, for the sake of their future. No. The rules of our little world...
The rules are nothing but a sham, and you know that. Anna is no worse than dozens of women whom you do receive, and she's better than most because at least she's honest.
Alexei, don't be angry with me. Please try to understand.
Oh, I do understand, and I am not angry with you. I'm just sorry because this means breaking up our friendship.
No, Alexei!
Yes, and perhaps a great many others. My dear mother, for instance, do you think that I don't know what she was as a young woman? Doesn't everyone know? And wasn't she all smiles and approval when Anna and I first came together? She said so herself to me. A fashionable liaison with a married woman. Quite the thing for a young man, as long as it doesn't become serious. And didn't the whole of your respectable society think the same? Doesn't that sort of hypocrisy sicken you? Well, it does me. It makes me want to vomit. Goodbye, Varia.
Yes, I'm sure. You're glad to be back in Petersburg, even if it does mean living in an hotel.
It is a very good hotel.
Oh, the best, precious, of course. But how I envy you the opportunity to visit Venice and Rome, Naples, a delightful romantic honeymoon in Naples. What could be more blissful?
Florence was more blissful.
More so than Naples, impossible.
Oh, yes. To tell you the truth, Betsy, beautiful it may be, but Naples smells.
Poor, smelly old Naples. I am disillusioned. But Florence?
Smelly, too.
Oh.
But our villa there was high on a hill. It was 2 or 3 miles from the city. I could have stayed there forever.
And your portrait was painted by Mikhailov?
Did I?
Yes, you told me in one of your letters. Did he make love to you?
Oh, yes.
Anna?
With his paints and brushes. Yes. In its way, his painting was an act of love.
Indeed. I long to see it.
Oh, Alexei had it sent directly to Vozdrizhenskoye, but when you come to visit us there...
Ah, yes, but the country, hardly my milieu. Well, now is it, Anna? You know that for me, civilization ends at the edge of Petersburg. Anything beyond is quite barbaric. Heavens, I must fly.
Will you not stay and dine with us? I want you to see my little Annie. She's grown.
I'd love to, dear, but no. I have 10 appointments, and I'm late for every single one of them.
Then I certainly mustn't keep you.
You haven't told me about the divorce. When is it? Alexei, I did so hope to see you.
Betsy, I am glad you came.
Well, I ignore the conventions, as you are aware, but plenty of starchy people won't until you are married. And that's so simple nowadays. I was just asking dear Anna about the divorce.
No divorce, Betsy.
What?
It isn't possible.
That is a pity. Alexei, I have to go now. When do you leave Petersburg?
Friday.
So soon. Difficile. Anna, I'll be in touch. Perhaps we can meet.
I hope so.
Yes.
Well, I'll see you to a carriage.
Oh, no, truly, there's no need.
No? Then at least as far as the staircase.
Madame, your health.
And yours, Prince. Although, if you were any healthier than you are now, I hate to think what might happen.
Probably explode.
That is something I should like to see from a safe distance.
So you see, Anna, to avoid that unpleasantness, he drinks like a fish and sits up all night smoking and gambling. Yashvin, I refuse to drink to your health, but here is to good fortune.
Yes, I drink to that. Baroness, your servant.
Oh, not that, I hope. Servants are so expensive to keep these days.
By the way, I ran into Princess Betsy today.
Oh. Did she know you were coming here?
I told her.
And what did she say?
A great deal, as usual. Chiefly, she wished me to know she admires you and loves you dearly. In short, she's your best friend.
Oh, I thought everybody knew that.
Then she gave me a message for you. She hopes you'll come and visit her.
How very kind.
Between 6:30 and 8 this evening.
That's interesting. To be so precise about the time.
Oh, I'm sorry, but between 6:30 and 8 is just the time I cannot go.
I suppose you're going to the opera. Patty's benefit night.
An opera? Do you mean a real opera? All that standing about and people bawling their beards off. I mean, a fat man and a fat woman screaming into each other's faces at a distance of 4 inches for 3 hours.
Tonight, I believe it's only songs. A recital.
Yes, accompanied on the piano.
Ah, the piano. I can just tolerate the piano.
Will you come, Anna?
I should like to very much if I had a box.
Oh, then you must come with us.
Indeed, yes. And Prince Yashvin, too.
Delighted.
Oh, that's splendid. I should love to come. It's a long time since I've heard Patty sing.
Box 4. We'll meet you there. Now, come along, you two reprobates. Anna, we must fly if we're to get changed and get there in time.
Very well. I will see you later.
Au revoir, madame. A great pleasure to have met you again.
Au revoir, Prince. Take care of your health. Russia needs men like you.
Until you get a house, this could be your little salon. À ce soir.
Are you really going to the opera?
Is there any reason why I shouldn't?
Anna, for heaven's sake, you know you can't go.
Are you going?
No?
You don't wish to be seen with me?
It isn't that. It is not that. Don't you realize?
I don't care to. Am I a freak? I can't be seen in public, or do you think I ought to be ashamed to show myself? Well, let me tell you that I am not. Not for one moment. No matter what I've done. If it were all to do again from the beginning, I would do the same. What do I care for other people? For me, there is one thing that counts, the fact that we love each other. Or is that no longer a fact for you? Why don't you look at me?
I am looking at you, and I see everything in the world that I care for and that I hold most dear. Now, this you must know because of what I do every day to prove it. And I am thinking only of you, and I beseech you, I entreat you
Not to go to the opera with Paula, with Petritsky, Yashvin, you're very good friends. All three accepted everywhere in society. What could be more innocent and more trivial? Explain to me. Explain in simple terms why I should not go.
Very well. It's Patty's benefit. It's a great occasion. Everyone in Petersburg will be there.
Except you.
And I am afraid for you. I'm afraid that if you do...
Is that you, Anushka?
Yes, madam.
Well, come in, then.
About this evening, madam.
Would you draw me a bath, Anushka? I will come directly to choose a gown.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Evening. Let me take your things. Long time since we saw Your Excellency. You chose a good night. An occasion. Pity you missed the beginning. She's in fine voice.
Yes, I hear.
Soldier or no soldier, you're still part of the old set. Come and see us at the regiment. We can't let you off without a supper.
Thank you, Colonel. I'd like that very much. You'll have to excuse me, though. My mother's here, and I still haven't paid my respects.
Disgraceful. Disgraceful. Is it not enough that we should be forced to sit next to that harlot?
I wished to.
You wished? Now you insult me too. Give me my cloak. We shall leave at once. At once, do you hear?
Damnation. Where's Vronsky? You know, Colonel? What? I think it's time we paid our respects to Madame Karenina.
No, not I, old man. I mean, much as I'd like to, it can't be done. Not in my position, you know.
Alexei, where have you been? Did you see what happened?
No, what?
It was mean and hateful. Madame Katasova behaved abominably. She insulted Anna quite on purpose.
Did she indeed?
Her husband spoke a few words to Anna by way of...
Alyosha, dear boy.
Mother.
How nice of you to come. I have a charming young girl with me who's pining to meet you. My son, Count Vronsky, the princess father.
Shut.
Of course. Will you come, Princess? There are so many people I want you to meet.
Should you not be over there with your peculiar friends paying court to Madame Karenina?
I was ask you.
No? But why not? She has given us a sensation. Patty is extinguished. The famous prima donna's nose is quite out of joint.
Excuse me.
Shall we leave now? The music is tolerable. But as for the company, I find it nauseating.
May I bring my wife to see you?
We go to the country tomorrow.
Ah, pity.
I shall always remember your kindness.
Anna, I think we should go.
was your fault. It was all your fault.
Mine? When I begged and implored you not to go, I feared it would be unpleasant.
Unpleasant. It was dreadful. As long as I live, I shall never forget it. She said it was a disgrace to sit beside me.
Silly woman's chatter, that's all.
And she called me a filthy name out loud in front of everybody.
Why did you risk such a thing? Why did you provoke it?
I am to blame. You should have been there beside me to protect me.
Yes, I should have been.
But you weren't because you don't love me. No, you don't. Ever since we came here, I've been alone. You go out to see your mother, Varia, your friends. Tonight in the theatre, I saw you with the girl. The Vavara girl? How often have you seen her? Your mother wants you to marry her, is that it? Well, do so then, do so. She's pretty, and she's rich, and she's not a harlot.
Here is Anna. Peace. Quiet. If I don't love you, why am I here? Why am I dressed like this?
You see? You regret that.
Oh, what a scrap. No more than you regret everything you've given up for me. You said this evening.
Yes. And it was true. Even Seriosha. Oh, Alexei, I've been so wretched these last few days since I've seen him.
You saw him? Why didn't you tell me?
I realized that I'd never see him again. Never.
Should have told me.
Yes. I was afraid to. You seemed so cold. I thought you might think me tedious.
Silly. If you don't tell me your troubles, how can I comfort you? Hmm? We are one person, man and wife. Now we're much more than that, because we only have each other. So, no more secrets.
Love me. Love me, Alexei. That's all I ask. Love me. All would be well.
Oh, this heat. Kostya's too energetic for me. We've walked all over the home farm looking at wagons.
Too good.
Kitty, my love, how do you feel?
Very well. Though dear Mamma insists on treating me like an invalid.
By the way, I had a letter today from my sister Anna. Yes, she's at Vozdrezhenskoy. Splendid estate, I hear, though I haven't been there myself.
Splendid, I'm sure.
It's only a matter of 20 miles from here, Levin. Do you know?
No.
Anna's heard that we're all staying with you. She'd appreciate a visit from any of us that care to go over.
No doubt.
Are you going, Stephen?
I can't, I'm afraid. Not yet, anyway. Oh, you know I have to leave tomorrow.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. I'd like to visit your sister, but Kitty mustn't travel.
Oh, I should think not, indeed.
In any case, Steve,
Quite out of the question.
I shall go.
Dolly, my dear.
I shall go because Anna is my sister. But apart from that, I feel sorry for Anna. And I'm fond of her. She's been a good friend to me. So, Kostya, if you'll be so kind, may I have the use of a carriage tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, of course.
It's Dolly. Alexei, it's my Dolly. Dolly.
Oh, Anna.
You have no idea how pleased we are to see you.
Thank you for your welcome.
Now, Anna, where shall we put the princess? The big balcony room, I think.
No, that's too far off. She'll be better in the corner room. Dolly, this is Count Petritsky. He's a rogue and a wretch, but he's our very good friend. Pierre, my sister-in-law, Princess Oblonsky.
Enchanted, Princess.
Now, come along, come along. How was your journey? Well, I'm very tired. Well, Alexei, tell everyone that Dolly is here. We'll meet at luncheon. There. Will this do? Is this all right for you?
It's extremely elegant. Oh, it's lovely, Anna. Everything about this house is quite beautiful.
And you have a view. Isn't that charming?
Oh, indeed, yes.
Alexei's grandfather built the house. Afterwards, it became dreadfully neglected. But Alexei, I didn't expect it, you know, but he became enamored of it. And when he puts his mind to a thing, there's nothing he can't do. Not just the house, the whole estate. He's planned, organized, become the perfect landowner. The servants' cottages, the stud for racehorses, everything is designed economically. He reckons every penny.
But surely he's a rich man.
Oh, yes, yes, when it's a matter of tens of thousands. He doesn't think of money. The latest thing is a hospital for all the local people. He's building it himself, I mean with his own money. He has an architect, of course, a clever little man, you'll meet him, but all the ideas are his own.
You do love him. You're happy.
Are you surprised? Do you wonder how I can be happy in my position? Well, all I can say is that I am. Especially since we came here. Something magical has happened to me. It's like waking up after a horrible dream and finding your terrors no longer exist. Do you think me wicked?
No. Why haven't you written to me?
Oh, I wanted to. I hadn't the courage.
Hadn't the courage to write to me?
Many people whom I thought of as friends have not been kind. Especially in Petersburg.
Yes, I imagine so. I've always thought that people of that sort would make things hard for you.
Yes, Dolly. Hard. You know the saying, as cold as charity? Well, I have suffered much coldness and I've had little charity.
But you can't have imagined that I could be like that.
Oh, perhaps not, but you begin to be afraid that everyone you like will turn out to be an enemy.
I could never be that.
No? Then tell me. Tell me honestly. What do you think of me?
I don't think anything. I've always loved you. And, well, if you love someone, you love the whole person just as they are, and not as you'd like them to be.
All your sins, if you had any, would be forgiven for this visit. And for what you've just said.
Would you like to walk on, or shall we sit here?
Thank you.
As you can see, Anna is very happy. But will she remain so? We're bound together for life. Everything will be held sacred. We have a child. We may have other children. The law is such that the implications are intolerable. My daughter is not my daughter, but Karenin's. The law says so. Someday we may have a son, and by law, he would be a Karenin. He would not be heir to my name or property. And the prospect is so bitter that... Well, I've tried to talk to Anna about it, but after everything she's been through, all she wants is to forget the past and ignore the future. She simply closes her eyes. And I mean really closes her eyes. I can see you've noticed. Well, I understand why. Besides, there's another thing that affects me. It's quite wrong for a man to idle his time away. He needs an occupation.
But I hear you have so many. The hospital, district affairs, all the committees, improving the farms.
Yes, it's good work, honest work.
And I'm proud to be doing it. But, Anna,
Do you mean... Are you saying that she objects to your being so occupied?
no, not that. It's not that at all. The point is this. I want children to inherit what I have made. I want children of my own. I conceive the feelings of a man who knows that his children will not be his, that they will legally belong to a man who must hate them. Now, can you imagine anything more terrible?
No. No, I can't.
And count your blessings, Princess.
Indeed, I try to.
Advise your good husband to do the same.
How can I help you?
Do you know that in order to adopt a child, you must petition the Tsar?
No.
And before you are allowed to petition, a divorce is essential. And that depends on Anna.
On Anna?
Yes. Karenin agreed to a divorce.
I thought Steve had arranged it.
He had, practically, and I feel certain Karenin wouldn't refuse now. He said plainly that if she expressed the desire, he would agree. It's only a matter of writing to him.
Then why...
Yes, but it is Anna who must write. Anna. And he knows very well that she can't bear even to think of him. And yet she is the one who must write and appeal to his generosity. There's a sort of stubborn cruelty in that man.
Well, then she must write, however painful it may be.
You do see that? It's vitally important for her that she should, as it is for me.
And you want me to try and persuade her?
Dolly, I'm clutching at you quite shamelessly, in the hope of salvation.
Then I will try. Of course I will. What puzzles me, though, is why she doesn't think of it herself. Yes? Well, Dolly, I've had a delightful day.
Tomorrow, it will be even better. We will go round the hospital and the stables and...
No, I'm afraid not. I have to leave tomorrow.
No, please.
But truly, I must. It's the children, you know.
Oh, yes, the children.
And Kitty's got enough to do. Well, there's my mother and other guests. Steve sends his love. He hopes to be over to see you soon.
I shall like that. Tell me about Kitty. Is she still angry with me?
Angry? Oh, no.
And she is happy, I hope so. They say Levin is a very nice man.
He's much more than very nice. I don't know a better man. And they're going to have a baby.
Oh, that is good. I am glad. Much more than very nice? What do you mean by that?
He's a sort of saint.
What?
But a warm saint.
A warm saint? I like that.
He's kind, generous, quick-tempered. He affects to deny religion.
A saint without religion?
It's strange, isn't it? And yet all his ideas and his actions are those of a Christian man.
Fortunate Kitty.
Indeed, yes. But Anna, tell me about yourself. There's such a lot I want to hear. I've had a talk with...
With Alexei, I know. I saw you walking together while I was playing that absurd game. So, what did he say to you?
He said that he suffers on your account. And on his own, well, egotism, if you like, but a noble egotism. He wants to make your daughter legitimate and to be your husband.
He is my husband.
But legally. Anna, it's so important for you and for your children.
What children?
Why, Annie and the others that will come.
I shall have no more children.
How can you know that?
I shall not, because I don't intend to.
But Anna...
But Dolly, are you really so ignorant? Oh, well, I was too, but after my illness I spoke to the doctor, the specialist, and he told me of certain means by which a woman can avoid conception.
Impossible.
Haven't you ever wondered why some women never have more than 1 or 2 children?
Yes. Yes, I have.
But I thought it was... Nature was kind. Sometimes, perhaps, but science is more reliable. Oh, you are horrified. It is quite harmless, you know.
But isn't it immoral?
Why? Don't forget I have a choice of two alternatives. Either to be with child, that is an invalid, or to be the friend and companion of my husband. Practically my husband. For you, there might be objections, but for me... Remember, I am not his wife. He loves me, as long as he loves me. And how am I to keep his love? Like this? Think of your life, Dolly, before you condemn me.
Oh, I don't condemn you. It's just that
Why should I wish for children? Think what they would suffer. By the very fact of their birth, they're forced to be ashamed of their mother, their father, their very existence.
But isn't that exactly
why was I given intelligence, reason, if I must not use them? To avoid bringing unwanted children into the world.
I was going to say, isn't that why you should get a divorce if it's possible?
Yes, if it's possible.
But surely your husband consented. Steve told me that
I don't want to talk about it.
Why not, Anna? Why not? I'm sure you look too much on the dark side.
I try not to look at all.
But you ought to do everything possible so that you can marry Count Vronsky. Then if you have children, the children he so desperately wants...
What can I do? Nothing. You tell me to marry Alexei. Do you imagine that I don't think about that? Not one day, not 1 hour passes without my thinking about it. I try not to because it may drive me mad. Drive me mad, so... I can't sleep for thinking. So I take morphine. Because, you know, we must sleep. But the trouble with morphine... laudanum... whatever you take, it... Oh, never mind about that. Let us talk calmly about divorce. In the first place, my husband would not agree.
He did, though.
Oh, not now. He's completely under the influence of a religious fanatic. A woman called Lydia Ivanovna. He won't consent.
You can but try.
Suppose I do. What would it mean? I hate him, yes. But I accept the fact that I've wronged him. So I depend upon his generosity and I humiliate myself by writing him a begging letter. Then what happens? I receive either an insulting refusal or I get his consent. Good. I get his consent, but my son... They will never let me have Seryozha. And he will grow up despising me in the house of his father. He will know, finally, that I have abandoned him.
Oh, Anna, surely this is happening in any case.
No, it's not final. As long as... Dolly, please understand this. I love two people. Equally, I think, but both more than myself. Two people. Alexei, Seryozha. I love only these two. And the one excludes the other. I can't have both, but I need both. So nothing matters. Nothing. It will all end one way or another. I don't know how. Although sometimes I think I do. But that's why I don't like to talk about it. So don't reproach me. Don't judge me. And above all, don't advise me, because there is nothing you or anyone else can do. Good night. Good night, Dolly.
Did you have a talk with Dolly?
At great length. You do like her, don't you?
Yes, I do. She's a kind-hearted woman with a great deal of common sense. Well?
So you've decided to go?
It was decided weeks ago.
I hoped. I just thought you might change your mind.
You know that's impossible.
You have said that several times. The elections are so important that you have to be there. Why are they so important?
What, for me?
Well, yes, for you.
Have I not told you that too?
I don't remember.
Then I'll remind you, these are the nobility elections in our province. And for various reasons, they've attracted a lot of public attention. Eminent people will be there from Petersburg, Moscow, even from abroad. We are to elect a new marshal, and as one of the leading landowners in the province, it's my duty.
Ah, that's it. Now I remember. I know duty came into it somewhere. Will there not also be concerts, dinners, balls?
I believe so.
What a miserable day. How long will you be gone?
4 or 5 days.
And 4 or 5 nights.
Naturally.
And then?
I beg your pardon?
How soon before you go away and leave me again?
Well, I shall have to go to Moscow quite soon to see about the house.
Oh, yes, yes, the house.
That is, if you still want to spend the winter there.
If you go to Moscow, I shall come too. I will not stay here alone.
There is no question of that.
Isn't there? Won't there be other duties? Yes, you'll come home for a day, but then you'll go again, the way all men do. Tell me about the elections. Do the other men take their wives?
Some of them, I suppose, yes.
So they can go to the concerts and the dinners and the balls. Alexei, I have to tell you something. We must either separate or we live together all the time.
I agree, Anna, and you know that is all I desire, but to make it possible...
I must get a divorce. Very well, very well. I will write to him. I will write. But when you go to Moscow, I will come too.
You make it sound like a threat.
Alexei. Alexei. Dear Alexei. Take care. Come home safely. Oh, my dear love, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why do you hurt yourself so much?
God go with you.
And with you, Anna.
So finally and at last she begs for a divorce. Have you made up your mind?
Not yet. I have to take into consideration the implications, all the implications. The circumstances are considerably changed.
Indeed they are, my dear friend. Moreover, if I may presume, you will wish to seek guidance.
Guidance?
From the being who never fails us when we seek his counsel and blessing.
If anything happens, you know, I'm dining out with Steve at the club. You'll send for me at once. Will you do that?
If you wish it.
I do.
Though I believe at these times husbands are better out of the way.
I'd like to be with you all the time. All the time.
Kostya, dearest, no. That would never do.
Well, I suppose not. But don't forget, it's my baby, too.
I shan't forget that.
How was your visit? Was your godmother well?
For her age, she's wonderful. Still adores company and her little salon. Papa was amusing on the way home. He said Godmother would insist on sending out her own funeral invitations. You know, the Princess Maria Borisovna, at home, 2:30 till the resurrection.
Who was there?
Among others, Count Vronsky.
What? Did you speak with him?
Of course, dearest.
Oh.
Kostya, I want to tell you about this because it's important.
It isn't. It isn't to me.
Oh, yes. When Papa and I arrived, he was there. And for a moment, just for a moment, Kostya, I was embarrassed. Papa was wonderful, as he would be. He went at once to speak to him while I talked to my godmother. And suddenly I realized I felt no emotion at all. Only indifference. Kostya, it was such a relief to know that I could meet him and smile and chat as if we were strangers. No, better than that. Slight acquaintances.
What did he say?
He mentioned Dolly and Steva and you, Kostya.
And me?
Only to say that while we were in Moscow, he'd like to meet you again.
Did he?
And then he went away, and all I wished was that you could have been there. Not in the same room, but watching through a crack in the door.
No, she finds plenty of things to do. She's developing new interests, new resources in herself.
Yes, I know she told me about them, but you feel underneath all that she feels depressed.
Well, it's not that she's depressed exactly. But sometimes she is. But it's this damn bloody certainty.
No, don't go, Levin. Now, this is one of my old and true friends. I know you're both acquainted with each other, but you must know each other better. You're both such splendid fellows. I insist upon your friendship for each other.
Well, I think that settles the matter, don't you? There's no doubt about it. I'm delighted.
Well, come on. Off to you. Steph, another bottle of champagne.
Sir.
The white seal.
Very good. I hear your horses did well this year.
2 imperial prizes, no less.
Well, I've been very lucky.
Nonsense. He trains them himself, that's why.
I heard you had an English trainer.
Yes, an excellent man by the name of Cord. Unfortunately, he died last winter, poor chap. So, as I
Oh,
had
not
the time...
Vronsky, you don't trust anyone else.
Perhaps. Am I correct? Do you keep horses?
Ah, no, my father did. So I know a little of the mystique. I'm a farmer.
So I understand. What sort of farming?
Nothing very special, everything from oats to turnips. But if I do have a particular interest, it's with cattle. I started some years ago with local stock, but they did poorly, so I imported some Friesians.
Ah, Friesians? They're a good breed, but for beef.
Ah, but I've been crossbreeding. Last year I bought myself a red shorthorn bull, and the stock's improved enormously.
You're
You'll be
talking
surprised.
farmer shop. I thought you would. Well, here's to friendship, amity, fraternity, fellowship, and brotherhood.
Friendship, amity, fellowship, and...
Fraternity and brotherhood. Sounds like a pack of foxhounds.
Have you all been to England?
Once.
He's been to England, France, Germany, the Netherlands, but he's never met my sister Anna. I'd like you to, Levin. Shall we go and see her?
By all means.
Oh, she'd be delighted. Look, I'd come with you, but I'm very worried about Yashvin.
Huh?
He gambles. Now, it's understating the case. He's in there now throwing his money about like a drunken sailor.
Oh, he's losing then.
Well, he was when I last saw him, and I'm the only one who can keep him in check.
Well, let's finish the bottle first. There may be another one. What do you say? I'll go and tell her you're here.
Yes, yes.
I brought my old friend Levin to meet you.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
You think so? How good of you to come. I can't say how pleased I am to meet you at last.
I feel most honored.
It seems as though I've known and liked you for a long time. Oh, because of your friendship with Steva, and of course for your wife's sake. Is everything well with her?
Oh, so far, all is well, thank you.
I'm so glad. Shall we go in here?
Oh, yes, indeed.
This is my little English companion, Susan Cord.
How do you do?
How do you do, sir?
Would you go into the drawing room and order tea for us, say in 10 minutes?
Real man.
Did you say Cord?
Yes, yes, the daughter of Alexei's trainer. It was very sad. The family was quite destitute when he died. There were 2 older brothers and the child, so I took them under my wing. The older boys are at school now, and they're doing well. Please sit down.
Levin, you know Vorkoyev, don't you?
Yes, yes, indeed. You publish my brother's books.
I have that privilege.
Tell me, it's 10 o'clock.
I know.
Papa came home from the club an hour ago.
Did you see Kostya?
Well, of course, he was with Steva. Really, I think it's rather shameful to leave his wife alone for so long with anything like...
I'm not alone. The house is full of people. Anyway, I'm going to bed now. Good night, Mama.
Good night, my darling child. All the same, I don't think at this hour of night, really.
Tell me, when does Sergei's book come out? I asked him, but he said only you could say.
Early spring, we hope. And speaking of books, I was about to tell Levin why I'm here this evening.
No, you mustn't. I forbade you to mention it.
Nonsense, Anna. It's very creditable. Anna is writing a book. It's a story for children, and Vorkoyev is interested in publishing it.
That's wonderful. Surely you're not going to object.
I intend to persuade her, I assure you.
Tea's ready, ma'am.
Shall we go into the drawing room?
Now, going back to what you were saying about authors.
Oh, yeah, well, that was a joke.
Yes, but still.
Yes, but still, there are authors, you see, and some of them very good authors.
So?
And their work sells everywhere.
So you're a writer?
What they do?
I find that enormously interesting.
I write for the same reason that I read. I adopt orphans and I embroider handkerchiefs. I have nothing useful to do.
Surely writing is useful, providing it's creative.
Shall I tell you about my writing? It reminds me of those little baskets that convicts make in prison. A woman I know was chairman of some society, and she used to sell them to her friends. The prisoners, you see, they had nothing useful to do in their cells, so they made these objects. They're useless objects. They're miracles of patience.
Well, old fellow, what did I tell you? Now, honestly, wasn't I right?
She's a remarkable woman. Clever, intelligent, warm-hearted. I feel dreadfully sorry for her.
So do I. Please God, it'll soon be settled. Go on. I'll drop you off on my way home.
Young man. Levin, a good young man. Loves his wife. Look in his eye. So why, Alexei, why? Alexei, can't you see? I must not be left alone.
Kitty?
Did you have a pleasant evening?
Not bad. Not bad at all. What about you?
Oh, delightful. Dolly came to dinner.
Oh, good.
She and Mama
Good.
talked of nothing but babies for 2 hours.
Oh.
What about you?
Oh, you know, I dined out with Steve at the club. Your papa was there in great form. He really is absolutely...
Yes, I know.
I met Vronsky.
Oh?
We got on very well.
Oh, I'm glad.
Of course, I'll avoid him as much as I can. But there won't be the constraint.
Good. Good.
I suppose we drank a good deal. They do drink there, you know. They talk about the peasants drinking, but really, I don't know who drinks more, the common people or our own class. The peasants drink more at holiday
Where
times.
did you go after the club?
Steve
had a plan.
He insisted that we went to see his sister, Anna Arkadyevna.
go.
Now, you won't be angry, I know. Stephen implored me to, and Dolly, as you know, had always
Do you
hoped...
like her?
She's charming.
Very charming.
And very much to be pitied. She sent you her good wishes.
Did she? Did she indeed?
What's the matter?
You've fallen in love with that hateful woman. Yes, you have. I can see it in your face. She's bewitched you. She bewitches everyone. Where will it end? You go drinking and drinking at the club and gambling.
No.
Yes. And then you went to her. To Anna, of all people. I thought you knew about her. She's fatal. Oh.
Kitty, what is it? What is it? Are you...
Oh, Kostya, if you love me, you do love me, don't you?
No, I do. Of course I do.
Then I think you'd better send for Lizaveta Petrovna.
Lisa who?
The midwife, stupid. And perhaps the doctor. Don't be frightened. Please. You mustn't be frightened. I'm not afraid. I'm not a bit afraid.
What about your mother?
No, don't disturb her. Fetch my maid and send for Lizaveta.
Oh, God have mercy on us. Pardon us and help us. Pardon us and help us.
What's happening?
Still knitting. I think you should persuade her to lie down. It will be easier.
Yes, all right. Laudanum. Is it enough?
Plenty.
Kitty,
What is it, dearest?
don't you think you should... I mean... I do wish you'd lie down. Or at least sit down.
Oh, well, if it'll keep you from worrying.
Nothing will do that.
Well, you must try, because it may be hours yet.
Hours?
And you'll wear yourself out.
What do I matter?
The whole world to me. Kostya, I want to tell you something. I know what I have to endure, and I'm ready for it. I long for it, because I want this child and the others that will come if God wills.
If God wills?
Yes, I heard you praying. God have mercy upon us and help us, you said.
You've said it 50 times, whatever it means.
I think it means that when you get to the end of your rope, you stretch out a hand because you know there's another, a stronger hand, waiting for you to grasp it.
I don't know.
Who does? Knowledge has nothing to do with it. Anyway, what I was going to say is this. I'm completely confident and happy. But if anything should go wrong...
Kitty.
No, it won't. But if it should, I want you to know that for me, this year, this marvelous, wonderful year we've had together, it's been worth a whole lifetime.
Here's the doctor come, the good soul. Well, there's nothing for him to do. And your mother's up and would like to see you.
Of course.
And your father's up and dressed and walking about downstairs. Would you not like to go and keep him company?
Bless you, my darling.
know, Kostya, I am a temperate man. But on these occasions... No, my boy, I insist.
Very good. Here's the baby coming now. Count that. Very good. And one...
Kostya, look. A beautiful day.
Alive! Alive and a boy!
Kitty! Kitty!
No, no. Shh.
Fine son, Konstantin Dmitrievich. Just hark at that for a voice.
What did I tell you? Everything normal? Congratulations.
Thank you.
That went very well.
Well? How, Kostya? Don't you think I'm a clever girl?
All these months, not one word. I was persuaded against my will to write, and what happens? Nothing.
Yes. It's an intolerable situation.
It's not that I mind so much about the divorce.
But surely you
But
still...
it matters a great deal to Alexei. He's restless, out of sorts.
Why don't you go to the country? Dolly said you were both so busy and contented there.
Well, we mean to go, but somehow we find it hard to make decisions. And then Alexei's mother. There's always some little thing or other that she wants him to do for her. More tea?
No more, no, thank you. The Countess lives out of Moscow, doesn't she?
Yes, at Oberalovka.
Do you see her?
Oh, you know better than that, Steve. So nothing changes. Sometimes I think it never will. But it occurred to me that as you're going to Petersburg anyway...
You want me to see your husband?
Would you?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Tell him he must make up his mind. Tell him I don't care what he decides, but we must have a definite answer.
Oh, I hope I'll do better than that. Now, I must go. Is there anyone else you'd like me to see in Petersburg? Princess Betsy.
Oh, if you see her. Oh, but I forgot. She finds you attractive.
Yes, I know. And I can't help flirting with her and making improper suggestions.
Which she adores.
Indeed, she does. It's always rather embarrassing, because, in fact, I can't stand the woman.
There is someone else I would like you to see.
Yes.
Seryoja. See him if you can. Find out if he's well, if he's happy. I want to know all about him.
It's a tall order.
Steve, I want to know if he remembers me.
Well, I want to talk about Anna.
Oh. What is it you wish to say?
If you had seen her all this winter, her position is impossible. Literally awful.
I was under the impression that your sister had everything she desired.
Now, you know what she's waiting and hoping for.
I understood she declined to divorce if I insisted on keeping the boy, and I do so insist. The matter is closed.
Then I beg you to reconsider.
I consider it closed.
She herself asked for nothing. But I, her brother, and her friends, all those who love her, beg and implore you. What is the point of making her suffer? Who gains by it?
You're putting me in the position of a defendant.
No, not in the least. All I am saying is that her position is unbearable and only you can alleviate it. And what can you lose by doing so? I shall arrange everything so you won't even notice. Now remember, you did promise.
Yes, I promised.
Well then.
But perhaps I did not have the right to give that promise.
But you can't refuse. That would be inhuman.
Well, as to that, You profess yourself a free thinker. I, as a believer, cannot go against the teachings of Christianity.
But in Christian societies, divorce is allowed. In Russia, it's sanctioned even by the church.
Maybe. Not in a case like this.
Alexei, I can't help remembering how you forgave everything. You forgave Anna, forgave even Vronsky. Surely this was the true Christian spirit guiding you. You said yourself, there! You said, if a man will take thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
No more,
Now,
and
you
you
said
know
that.
that. I insist that you drop this subject.
I'm sorry, I had no wish to distress you.
I must think it over. I must seek guidance. The day after tomorrow, I shall give you my final answer.
Well, that's all I wanted to hear, but I hope it'll be good news. My coat, Petrov. Seriosha! Hello there! Well, do you know who I am?
Yes, Uncle?
Good. You haven't changed much either. Oh, bigger, of course. And a good bit stronger, I shouldn't wonder.
I am pretty strong. Not as strong as Berensky, of course.
Who's Berensky, the school Hercules?
We call him Sam.
Sam?
Short for Samson. But I can stand on my hands. And he can't.
Well done, you. Look, I'm just going. Will you see me out? What else do you do at school?
Work.
Oh, work, of course. Any games?
We have a new one now for when it rains and we can't go out. It's called Railways.
How does that go?
Well, two boys sit on a bench, they're passengers. And another one stands up on the bench. And all the others lift it up. They go tearing through the rooms. We open the doors first, you see.
I should hope so. Good sport.
Yes. You have to watch out when the train stops all of a sudden or when someone falls down.
Bet that's no joke.
I've been the guard 3 times.
Ah, you're a warrior. Thank you, I'll carry them. Yes, you're a warrior. Oh, I wish your mother could... Do you remember your mother?
No. No, I don't.
Well, all I
Why
want...
should I? Leave me alone.
Goodbye, Serioja.
And then I thought, why go on waiting here for a decision? Won't it do just as well in the country? I can't wait any longer. And why should we? Don't you agree?
I do, indeed.
What did you do at your dinner party? Who was there?
Oh, usual crowd. Yashvin, Gagin, Minovsky. A few men I didn't know. Provincials, I think.
No women?
Yes, there was one.
One? A dancer?
No, not quite. Nowadays in Moscow, not content with an excellent dinner and good company, they always have to introduce something ridiculous.
Well?
The Queen of Sweden's pet gymnast.
Well, a lady gymnast?
Yes, of a sort. Hideous, tough old bird she was, too. Well, when are we off?
And that's too absurd. What did she do?
Gave a display of her art, if you can call it that.
Exercises?
Most energetic.
Disgusting.
Well, not really. It's rather tedious, actually. When were you thinking of going?
And the sooner the better. Not tomorrow, I'm afraid, but I could be ready the day after.
Good. Oh, now wait a moment. That's Monday. I have to see my mother. I'm sorry.
Oh. Tell me, is the Princess Sorokin still with her?
Yes, I believe so.
I see. Could you not see your mother tomorrow?
Sunday, no. The business is to do with the power of attorney, and the money won't be ready.
Oh, then we won't go at all.
Why ever not?
I shan't go any later. It's Monday or it's not at all.
Why ever not?
Because you don't speak the truth. Yet you're always boasting of your honesty.
I never boast, and I don't tell lies. And it's a great pity if you can't respect that.
Respect was invented to cover up indifference. If you don't love me anymore, say so. Tell me to my face. That at least will be honest.
This is beyond endurance. Whatever I do, whatever I say, you make an excuse for a quarrel. Look, I have a great deal of patience, but by God, Anna, it has its limits.
What do you mean by that?
You seem determined to tear us both to pieces, and I cannot stand it any longer. I will not tolerate suspicion and abuse without any reason. Now, you just tell me, plainly, and without any hysterics, what is it you want?
That you shouldn't desert me as you are thinking of doing. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. Hatred, the desire to be rid of me. You ask what I want? I want nothing but your love. And that has gone, so everything is over. It's finished.
Look, madam, you've thrown this out, but I think it should be kept.
Do whatever you like. Anushka.
Yes, madam.
If Count Vronsky wishes to see me this evening, would you ask him not to come in? I have a bad headache. Yes, it's over. Must end it. How? Where am I to go?
Seriously, if I could...
No. It's impossible. For you? I nearly died. I should have died then. I wanted to. I prayed to die. Alexei? Oh, Alexei would have been sorry. He would have mourned for me, perhaps forever. But now, would he mourn? Would he pity me? Would he suffer if I... Is that the solution?
What news of your poor sister?
Come, Steva. Tell me about her.
Well, her position's very difficult.
She did what everyone else does, except me. Only they hide it.
When they can.
She did even better by throwing over that half-witted Karenin.
Well, I saw him yesterday, and he seemed to me to be greatly changed.
For the worse, if that's possible. It's religion, you see, and Lydia Ivanovna.
Yes, I'm a little puzzled. I saw him to get a definite decision about the divorce. He said he'd think it over, but now, instead of an answer, I receive an invitation for this evening from Countess Lydia.
Exactly what you would expect.
They're going to consult Landau.
Landau? Who's Landau?
A healer. A mystic, if that's the word.
Landau, let me tell you, used to be a shop assistant in Paris. One day he went to see his doctor
And fell asleep in the waiting room.
In his sleep, he began giving advice to the other patients.
And they took it, the fools.
They took him for a saint.
A what?
A saint.
Countess Beelzebub was one of them. She took him out, brought him to Russia. Now he's making his fortune, treating them one and all.
He's a religious mystical healer, you see.
And now neither she nor Karenin can take any decisions without consulting him.
Good God.
So, your poor sister's fate is now in the hands of a French shop assistant.
Alexei. Alexei. He didn't come. Oh, I said he was not to come, but if he'd loved me, he would have come anyway. No, it's finished. What is left to us? Punishment? How? It would be easy. So easy. No. At least, not yet. No. I'm to blame. If I were kinder to him, if I were more loving.
The post has arrived, sir. And there's a telegram from Petersburg.
Thank you.
Any answer, sir?
No, not yet.
Good morning.
Morning. Some coffee here, for Madame.
Thank you, no.
Your headache quite better?
Quite better.
That's good. I'm just off to Oberolovka. I have these papers for my mother to sign, and she can send me the money later. That means we can leave tomorrow.
So it was possible after all, but I doubt if I can be ready now. Who was your telegram from?
From Stifa.
Well, why did you throw it away?
Because it annoyed me. Stifa has a passion for sending telegrams. Why telegraph when nothing is settled?
About the divorce?
Yes. She says, could get nothing definite out of him, promises definite answer tomorrow. I really feel sad.
Definite answer tomorrow. Very little hope that we'll do everything possible and impossible. Well, I would say that that's as nearly settled as anything can be.
If so, you can understand why I was vexed.
Not, I imagine, on my account.
For us both.
As I said yesterday, I don't care when I get the divorce or whether I ever get it. So why are you so concerned?
For your sake. Whether you wish it or not. And that of the children we may have.
Oh, well, if it's only that you want sons to carry on your name.
I said for your sake. Most of all for your sake. Do you think I can't see why you get depressed and miserable? Why you're so irritable and ready to quarrel for the slightest thing? It is all due to the uncertainty of your position.
If I am irritable, that can't be the reason. I am entirely in your power. What is uncertain about that?
When you say such things, Anna, I begin to despair. As far as we are concerned, you and I, there is no uncertainty. But in your imagination, there is. You imagine that I consider myself free.
Well, as far as that goes, you can set your mind at rest. It's a matter of complete indifference to me what your mother thinks, or what girl she wants you to marry.
Ah, so it's that again.
Precisely that.
I've told you at least 50
Let me
times.
tell you, a heartless woman, mother or no mother, is despicable. I want nothing to do with her.
Don't speak like that of my mother.
If a woman tries to undermine her son's happiness, honor, I say it again, she has no heart.
It's enough, Anna, enough.
Your mother...
Be quiet!
You dare to order me!
I forbid you to insult my mother, whom I love and respect.
You do neither. This is all talk, talk, talk.
Very well, it's quite clear that
We have to make up our minds. Mine is already made up.
Tell me, how can we live together if we do nothing but quarrel?
Who would wish to? You will be sorry for this.
I will not be threatened.
I shall go on to the club first and then on to the station. Pack the rest of my things and make sure the carriage is sent back immediately afterwards in case of damage. Very well.
No. No, he wouldn't go without saying goodbye. He has gone. Alone. He knows I mustn't be alone. Can't be alone.
Is there anything I can do, madame?
No. Yes, I think so. Do you know where the Count has gone?
First to the club, he said. Then to the railway station. He left word for the carriage to return directly in case you should wish to go out.
Then will you please send someone to the club at once? No, Herman. Would you go yourself, if you will? Would you tell him I must see him urgently before he leaves for the station? Would you tell him it's very important? No, can't be right. It's nearly an hour. It's an hour. A whole hour. I must think. What to do now. Because he's...
The Count had already left the club, madame, so I went to the railway station.
Yes?
The train was just leaving.
Did you give him my message?
Yes, madame. The Count asked me to tell you that he's sorry, but he cannot be home until 7 o'clock. Anything else, madame?
Wait. Would you see that this telegram is sent immediately?
At once, madame.
Anushka? Anushka! Are you sure there has been no telegram for me?
No, madam. I just told you.
Well, go and No, what's the use of that? When is the next train?
Where to, madam?
Where? To Obiralovka, of course.
I'll find out.
Yes. Yes, and order the carriage. Oh, he's there. He's calm, he's happy. He's with the old woman. And the girl. He's making love to the girl. I saw them settling it between them this morning. Doesn't care how I suffer. But they'd be laughing together the way they did this morning. So I shall go. I see him once more to tell him how I hate him for what he's done to me. Oh, yes. Yes, that must be said. And even supposing that I am mistaken, that I only imagine horrible things, so I implore him to forgive me. I confess myself in the wrong. What then? It will all be the same the next time. Worse each time. So, what is it I want? Divorce? Marriage? Oh, he'd go through with it because he's honorable, but the zest has gone out of it for him. Oh, yes, that's quite clear. And I, if I could be anything but his mistress, but I don't want more than that. No, if we were married, he would treat me kindly, gently, but only from a sense of duty. I would rather be hated, outright, honestly, as people hate each other all over the world. It's the same, everywhere, always.
Shall I take a ticket to Obiralovka?
What? Oh, yes, certainly.
I was thinking, if it's not quite essential for you to go to the country tomorrow.
Now, Mama, these appear to be in order, but you can't sign them.
Where do I sign, dear?
There, there, and there.
I was going to say, Alexei, that on Wednesday evening I'm giving a little dinner party, just the Count and Countess Marknoff. And the Princess Sorokin, of course. An attractive little thing, is she not? And her fortune.
Now, Mama, I have already told you. Thank you.
Not bad news, I hope?
No, not particularly. But I think I shall have to get the next train back.
Oh, no, that's too bad. Is it so important?
Yes, I have a feeling that it is.
Ugly. Ugly. Not only their faces or bodies, they're ugly right through to the heart and soul. We are all created to be miserable, so we all invent ways of deceiving one another. Falsehood, deception, cruelty. But when you are forced to see the truth, what can you do? odious, vile. Ugliness everywhere. A world full of hideous people. Oh, God. Where am I to go? There's nothing more to do or see. Why not put out the candle?